Do you own solar panels and you'd like to find a simple, easy, and safe method to check the voltage and amperage of your array? We look at a company today from TESMEN that offers you this ability and more on Let's Talk Tech today. Hi everyone, Mike here. I've been looking for over a year to find a product that gives me the ability to check the voltage and the amperage of my existing solar panel array. I have 12 100-watt panels. I know what their voltage and amperage is, but those numbers do fluctuate depending upon the outdoor temperature, whether or not there's any haze or cloud cover. And on my unit itself, I know the amount of wattage that they are providing on an input, but I never know truly exactly what voltage that it is providing. And there is limitations that you can have as an input on most of these units. So I wanted to find something that was a non-contact ability to check, but solar panels operate on DC. And there is, at least to this point, I've never found a product that existed or anything that I could plug in line that would give me that sort of information. I did find a company called TESMEN, and they have a clamp meter, and this clamp meter gives you the ability to check your AC and your AC voltage. It lets you check your DC amperage as well as AC amperage on the clamp. It has an ability to check whether or not you have any live power on an AC line. You can also check your other standard items that you have with checking capacitors, diodes, and this also gives you the ability to check the temperature. They give you provided lead, which is kind of neat that you can use this as a thermometer. It gives you the probes that you can use if you want to use it as a contact meter. But I like the flexibility that what I can do, and I will be showing later on in the video, that I can just clamp this directly around my DC positive lead, and it is going to tell me what is the current amperage. And by knowing what my wattage is on my unit, I can just use simple math and know that if I know two of my variables, it can provide me the other one, which would be my unknown, which is voltage. So I will be giving you a demonstration on that, but this is very nice because most people aren't aware, but DC voltage, even though it's DC, people are automatically thinking a vehicle with 12 volts that, yeah, you might get a spark and it's not going to kill you. But when you're dealing with higher voltages on DC, anything over 50 volts can be lethal to some individuals depending upon their health conditions. My existing array and my EcoFlow Delta Pro allows 150 DC volts as an input, which is quite high. And you also, when you have solar panels and it's during the day, daytime or daylight hours, you don't want to be disconnecting any of that while it's under load because you'll get a massive spark and potentially other big problems. So it's just something that you know not to do. So I'm going to bring this outdoors. I'm going to show you exactly how I can use this, and it will provide me the information that I need. So we will do that in a little bit, but I do want to review two of these other products that they have. I actually reached out to TESMEN to inquire about this clamp meter, and looking on their website at other products that they offered, it got me thinking, some of these other products would be really handy for people that are building solar panel arrays and have portable power stations. They were nice enough to actually send me 3 of these products that I was interested in so I could test and try them, and to be able to produce this video for my viewers for products that I think that if you have a permanent installation, these are something that is going to give you some beneficial numbers for your setup, and it will also let you know whether or not you have a problem. If you are seeing lower wattage than you anticipate to be receiving that normally you do, you may have a bad panel, and this can help you narrow down where your problem exists instead of having to unplug each one individually. The other products that they did send to me is a automatic wire stripper. Other companies make these, but this is the very first product that I've seen And this has a non-contact voltage detector on it. So if you happen to be working inside of your household electrical panel, which I only recommend that if you're a licensed electrician or you've at least been taught by a licensed electrician to be able to do that, because again, AC voltage, you're dealing with 220 volts in household wiring in America. Um, that is a recipe for disaster and death. So you have to be safe with that. This lets you know if you're working on any of the lines, you just have to hold it up near it and it will start beeping, which is really nice. But the fact that you have this one tool that will let you strip the wire, well, I'll show you here. Here's just a simple 110 lead. You just have to put your, hold it this way, see if it'll work. You just put your wire lead in here and just like that, it strips off the wire for you and you don't have to be worrying about cutting too deep because it auto gauges the depth on it. And it also has a wire cutter built into this, and it also gives you a crimping tool if you're going to do any wire connections. But what is also nice for this, if you make your own MC4 extension leads like I do with mine instead of buying them pre-made, this works on stranded wire too. So I'm able to just put this in here. Oops, let me extend that bigger. There is your stripped wire. And then from that, you can just take your MC4 connectors. I use my own MC4 connectors from Bouge RV, and they're another partner of ours that we've worked with previous videos. And you can just put this tool on here and crimp, make your own MC4 connectors. So that way you can custom make any length that you want, and you don't have to worry about buying pre-made ones. And you can use, go to your local hardware store and get red strand and black strand, and you can make your own. So I definitely like that. And then this other product that they sent to me, and I kind of was thinking for the portable power stations on this, but what this meter does is this will let you know whether or not there is any RF that is being emitted from a product. It will let you know if there's any magnetism from it, and it will also let you know whether or not there's electrical current. So why I was thinking of this for portable power stations, and these have auto shut off features. I apologize for the beeping on that. But what's nice about this is if you have the product here, this one is turned on. If I hold this up near it, I can check if there's any RF that is emitting from this device, which right now this is showing that no, there is not, but I do know there's wireless charging on the top. So if I put this on, surprisingly, there is no magnetism, even though it does support wireless charging. Maybe a phone has to physically be on that. The other function, let's see, any RF. I was assuming there would be some RF. It's in the, right now, it's just, it is registering. It is very low, probably because this is Bluetooth only. There's no Wi-Fi built in it. But I thought that that would come in handy for any people that are concerned about any noise from portable power stations. If they happen to be in radio communications and they're using devices like ham radios and they want to find out where they might be having some noise coming from when they're doing their setups. But from a cell phone, here, if we hold this near it, you can see that yes, this indeed is emitting RF. It turned red there for a brief second. And as you move it away, so you can see here's the safe zone on a cell phone. But as you do come closer, people that are concerned about having too much RF from it and having radiation when they're using the phones against their head, to me, I'm not overly concerned. I've been exposed to cell phones and radio communications for much of my life, and anything in your house is going to emit some sort of noise that is going to potentially be bad for your health. Let's see on magnetism on the back of this device, because I have a big magnet on here. So this is detecting the magnet that's on the back of my phone in order to allow it to attach to a device. And then electrical, this should be 0 because this is not electrical producing on that. But if I hold this up towards my wall outlet here, it is showing that it's approximately 90 volts that is able to recognize. So it's not directly on the lead, so it's not quite at the 110 that it should be, but it is kind of cool that that is able to recognize that. I will show you later. I'm going to bring it into the kitchen and let you see what this does with microwave ovens. So that's definitely something that if people are really concerned about cell phones, microwaves are the biggest thing that you should be concerned about. And from what I found, as long as you're more than 3 feet away, then you're in a safe zone. So I really can't do any more demoing on this wire stripper, but this is something I think is very nice to have if you're building your own cable connections and you want something that just all in one, and it has that safety feature to determine if you have any live voltage on an AC line. This is something I recommend that you have in your products. This is invaluable, being able to check DC amperage. You can use it in vehicles as well if you want to check individual leads, if you're adding auxiliary lighting or air pumps or whatever, that you can use this as well and not have to be with one individual using the 2 prongs. Sometimes you can't see this while you're using the prongs, but with the clamp meter, you can just put it directly on and gain your information. And this is kind of a handy tool as well. So let's go outdoors. I will show you about how I can use this with my solar panel array. And then I will show you another segment where we will test this with my microwave oven and also the transformer that is sitting in my front yard for the electricity for the neighborhood, and got quite a surprising result from this, and I'll explain the results that I found from that, and that it's was quite a surprise to me, but in a good way. So let's go outdoors. We'll check that, and hopefully this is something that will intrigue you to say, ooh, I want to have that for my even if you're not with solar products, just doing general electrical work. This is a cool product to have.
I've spotlighted our solar panel setup on a few of our channel videos. There are a total of 12 100-watt panels. 6 are wired in series with 2 groups of them, and they're each wired together in parallel. If I look on the EcoFlow app right now, I'm pulling 981 watts. So if I put this clamp meter directly over it, I can show that I'm 12.3 amps roughly. That is fluctuating right now. So we'll go 11.75 and I'm showing 950. Do a simple calculation to show what that comes out to, but we can check each individual leg. This is showing 5.3 and the other leg is 5.5. So doing some simple math, if we take we go to the calculator and we take 980, divide that by roughly 11.75, we're showing that I've got a voltage of roughly 83 volts combined on all these. And looking at the back of the panel here, my open circuit voltage is 20.3 and the operating voltage should be 17.1, and the amperage from each one is 6.3 with 5.9 operational. So on clamping on the one, I'm showing a little bit of a shadow right now, but yeah, so there we're 6.5, so definitely within the range of how these would work. But this device gives us a very simple way, and we can technically even clamp up here if we wanted around the two wires. And we're going to show that right now it's at fluctuating. A little bit of cloud cover just came back in, but at 12.2, if I come back into my phone app here, back into my EcoFlow at 900, and put the clamp back on, showing 903. It's down to 860. So as you're assuming that the wattage stays consistent, so now we're showing 454 watts when it was at that lowest point. So it's a non-invasive, simple way to check the voltage of your solar panel array without having to worry about using any contacts to cause you to short anything out, damage your equipment, or potentially get a shock from it. I'm standing in front of the microwave now while it is turned off, showing that there is no electrical field emitting from it. There is minimal RF, which may be coming from this camera that I'm using because it showed 0 before I turned the camera on. And there is obviously minimal of a magnetic field. Again, it could be being triggered from using the camera. So what I'm going to do is turn the microwave on. We can see here it's got a little bit of a electrical field, minimal, because microwaves are designed for shielding. That's why you have that metallic grid in front of the glass to block the microwaves from escaping the unit, but it's obviously not 100%, but it's in an acceptable limit unless you're directly right on it. But what is interesting here, I will add another 30 seconds to this. Here is where the people that are concerned, you get a lot of RF interference from a microwave. It's pegging at the very high level. That shows that it's over where you should be subjected to. Same with doing the magnetic. There's actually two levels of magnetism that you can change. But what's interesting, if I come over here to the other side of my stove, you can see that it has minimal effect, and that is because the refrigerator being built out of metal, it is providing a shield from any of those EMF frequencies from coming through that. But I will set this one more time. You can see that it triggers that right away when I turn it on. But even if I'm here, just right around the edge, you can show how that the shielding is. So we do still have to get quite a bit of ways from this. The magnetism isn't as far, but you still have an RF that's considered in the over range, and I am approximately 4 feet from it here. Kind of hard to gauge a 6-foot distance, but I'm going to say that for people that are really concerned, don't be standing in front of a microwave waiting for something to heat up, especially if you're waiting for a minute or something. Just walk away for 6 feet or more and then come back when it beeps to let you know that it's ready if you do have those concerns of being exposed to too much radiation. Okay, I am standing in front of the transformer in front of my property. As you can see, the RF coming from this is very minimal, much lower than I was anticipating it to be. It does show that there is a large magnetic field, which is coming from all sides of this and showing it in the high level. And if I change the scale rating on that, it's still showing high. There is a zero electrical interference coming from this. And what I am guessing that is causing the RF levels to be as low as it is because this is a complete steel enclosure around this. And what it's doing is acting as a Faraday cage or a Faraday shield. And what the difference between a Faraday shield and a Faraday cage is, a Faraday shield is when it's a solid metal around all sides where it's properly sealed. Obviously, you would have some gap leakage here where it's hinged, but a Faraday cage is mainly built just like a bird cage where you have your magnetic field that would stay to the outside of it, and it's the same thing that you would see actually inside of your microwave door, that's a Faraday cage screen that's on the glass door. It is not a solid steel, so that's why we did see the high levels from the microwave, but we are not seeing them coming from this transformer. But we would expect to see a high magnetic field because this is, I have no idea the designs of them and how much magnetism that these transformers produce, but obviously it's a super high level. But as I step back from it, okay, so again, I'm at about 6 feet away from it, and it is in the safe zone. So for people that are concerned about having high levels of EMF, as long as you are more than 6 feet away from the source of it, whether it's a microwave or a large transformer like this, I would say that you are safe. We hope you enjoyed today's review of the TESMEN products and how you can utilize them with solar panel setups, portable power stations, and any other various electrical work that you may be doing around your home. The wire stripper, I think this is really nice to have, that you don't have to worry about it if you're dealing with stranded wire, having any additional strands coming off of the wire. And on copper wiring, does have an adjustment here for solid copper. And that way, if you notice any nicking, that you can make a fine-tune adjustment on that. And it has the wire cutter built into this, along with the crimping tools for any terminal plugs that you might be using. So this is something that is cool to have, and being able to detect the AC line voltage, that's another added bonus. I'm sure everybody hopefully enjoyed the review that I did with this outdoors with my actual panels. One thing I wanted to reiterate, that at the time of testing my panels outdoors, everything was all based on the angle of my panels, the time of the day where the sun was, and any other conditions of the sky with cloud in the air, smoke, haze, whatever. So those factors all do go into how much solar is being collected. But one thing to remember, that I live in the south, so when temperatures are higher, typically you will see slightly lower voltages on your panels. Inversely, the opposite is true if you live in colder climates, that as your panels get down near freezing temperatures and below, you have to worry about your voltages increasing. And that's just due to the nature of how solar panels are constructed. So it's just something to be aware of to make sure that you aren't exceeding your voltage inputs on your inverters of your units. Um, this is a handy little device too. I thought it was kind of neat to be able to show. It's kind of funny right now that I show some RF because I've got the wireless mic on me showing some some interference from that, but it was really interesting to find with the transformer box out in the yard that actually didn't produce any RF just because the nature of the way that box is designed. So it's not like people have to worry that those affect three households going down 150 feet down a road, that it's going to impact your safety within the home, compared to, say, high tension power lines that run high, and many people have concerns of those, that they emit a lot of uh, RF and radio interference, which I know is true because you drive by some of those with cars and you notice that your radio gets a little static. So they do have some effect on that. But as I showed, the biggest unit in the home that you have is your microwave. I would say if you are concerned, stay more than 6 feet away from them while it's in use. And one thing I didn't show, but I did test it, was my wireless router. As long as you are more than 2 feet from it, this does not register, at least the unit that I have, showing that it was a concern. But I probably wouldn't want to have a wireless router direct on a nightstand in a bedroom to be having that directly next to you for 6, 8 hours while you're sleeping, or on an office desk. I would say to keep it as far away as possible from where you're sitting so that it doesn't create any, not only just for you, but interference with any other equipment that you may have in your office. In particular to this clamp meter, I want to mention that there are two versions of this. Um, the model number is TCM-300D. The D identifies that this will do the DC amperage with the clamp. There's a model 300A, and that strictly is, the clamp is only for AC. So I will be providing links for all three of these products. TESMEN was kind enough to include a 10% additional coupon. I will have that in the description of this video, along with the direct links to each of these three products. That 10% discount is in addition to any other discounts that TESMEN is offering at the time, so they are stackable. This unit normally is $49, and I noticed just looking the other day that it had a 20% off coupon and then the 10% that I'm providing. So you could technically get this for $35, which I think is phenomenal for what this offers to you, what you can do with it. I believe this RF meter is $39, and the wire strippers, I don't recall if they were, I want to say they were $19, $20. So I hope that you liked these products. I definitely do encourage anybody that wants to be able to find anything with solar panels. At least this one is a must. This one is a neat little gadget, but not as important as this one can give you information. And then this one is just really nice to have if you're dealing a lot with any wiring and building MC4 connections. Again, I hope you enjoyed this. We will continue to provide more videos with more products that we feel are valuable to our viewers. And we will also continue to reach out to different vendors as we find new products to ask questions. And if the vendors are nice enough to be willing to send us some products to test and to create our reviews, we appreciate and welcome any vendors that would like us to test products for them. On behalf of all of us at Let's Talk Tech Today, thank you for watching and have a fantastic day.